With a Nintendo Direct coming in June on the start of E3, we're most likely going to get some more information about the games that were revealed in February. Super Mario Maker 2 seems to be the big summer release, which makes me think that either Animal Crossing or Pokemon could release during fall, Christmas, or even be delayed until next year. It makes sense when New Leaf was announced in 2010, and actually released in the West in December of 2012. It's been 7 years since the release of New Leaf, and 3 years since the last update, and everyone is excited to see what Nintendo has in store for us. And while I'm excited, my expectations for the new game are pretty realistic. Most games in the series haven't really changed that drastically, and the small things they have changed over the years is mostly just quality of life stuff. All the things that I want to be added are stuff that are unnecessary and unrealistic and have very little chance of ever being added. Well, let's talk about it anyways. I keep seeing everyone talk about wanting a character creator, and I think it's pretty obvious that this is going to happen. It was a feature in Pocket Camp, so there's really no reason for them to remove it. The only thing I can see staying the same are the Shampoodle questions. I'd really like there to be the standard face and hair options at the beginning, and then over time Shampoodle would unlock more, based on milestones like fishing and bug catching. I also want the map to be bigger. I want at least 15 villagers to live in my town, and I'm fine with them being nicer, but I want there to be more dialogue with them and between them. If they do increase the size of the map, I'd like to have a bicycle to ride around on just for fun. If you hit the A button, you could ring the bell, and it would be super cute. It could be something you buy at the island in different colors, like the wetsuits. There needs to be even more public works projects, and hopefully this time they use a grid system, because Isabelle refuses to put the thing where I want it to be. For the love of God, please let me rotate public works projects, especially diagonally. There is no reason why I shouldn't be able to. And don't even get me started on the fact that you can't move anything after you've placed it. So that means you have to destroy it, and then repay the same amount just to move it. And that's not even counting the stuff that you just can't tear down at all. Speaking of a grid system, they should finally make paths and patterns a part of the game, and open up a top-down view of the town just to place them. Mainly because placing them yourself is just a huge pain in the ass, and I don't want to do it anymore. One thing that I'd really like to see are some old villagers who we haven't seen since, like, the first game, coming back. And I'd like at least 2 new villager species. I'd prefer sharks and bats, but I'd also like there to be, like, 1 alien. Just 1. One thing that I'm really into are friendship meters in these types of games. Because when you get to full, they give you their portrait. April Fool's Day in New Leaf really made the photos less special, because you could just cheat. It would also be nice if they'd mail me more often in general, and I'd like it if instead of pinging me for public works projects, they'd send me a letter requesting it. Also, for friends, they should mail me if they're thinking about moving away, so I don't have to play telephone with all of my villagers every week. And I think they should bring back the ability to decorate the exterior of other buildings and homes from Happy Home Designer. I think it'd be fun to have the villagers themselves ask you to help them renovate the look of their homes. Tom Nook should also sell a wider variety of home customizations, like holiday-themed exteriors. One of the best features that was added in the 2016 update was the secret storage, and that needs to be in the game on release. I'd also like the presents attached to balloons to have more rare furniture than the balloon set. They're fine, it's just after you get the whole set, I don't really feel the need to keep shooting down the balloons. One thing I don't understand is why they removed the gold card. It's really handy for when you want to buy a lot of Gracie items, and it saves inventory space and time. I can't be the only person who loves to collect things for the museum. Diving especially could use a few more creatures. And art. There needs to be more art. Since there is no Street Pass on the Switch, and hopefully won't be, either the point system will be brought back, or they'll make DLC for the Nintendo items. I think it would be fun if there was a gacha machine either inside or outside the Nookling store that had a variety of different rarity of items. You could use bells, or maybe you could make enough purchases and get special coins that could only be used in this machine. I'd like the cap of stacked items to be raised, but I'd also like there to be more variation of what you can stack. You used to be able to ask your villagers if you could do favors for them, and while that idea kind of came back with them pinging you to do stuff, I think it would be a better idea to have them mail you requests, or even use the bulletin board to display villager requests. I want more clothes of every type, especially pants and skirts. I'd really like more shoe and sock options as well. More hats are always good. Plus I'd like more color variations. And speaking of colors, I want even more options for furniture customization with Cyrus. I was always disappointed in New Leaf when I bought something and he couldn't do anything with it. As for the online, the game will probably have something similar to Mario Maker 2 where you can connect online to look at town tunes, patterns, and clothing uploaded by people and download them for your own town. There will probably even be a portion online dedicated to dream addresses and home and town displays, so you can see the furniture they have and order it yourself. You would think you'd be able to send mail to your friends through the internet, but Nintendo does not want that, because they don't want children to give away personal information to people on the internet. 8 spaces is not enough in the Patterns tab. There should be at least 4 pages. I want to be able to collect all the portraits, gyroids, and songs by KK Slider. I'd like a place to store them all, whether it's in my house or elsewhere. Just give me a vinyl rack or photo album or something. Plus, I want to have more rooms on the 2nd floor of my house, and I want to be able to build a 3rd floor. And I think the cap for how many items are allowed to be placed in a single room should be raised. My poor New Leaf Hospital and school are so bare. Also, I feel like furniture placement could be better, and you should be able to put more items on more things. This one is a bit crazy, but I want a catalog of every item in the game. This is something that would ruin the game for a lot of people, but it's something that I want. I want it to either be given to me when I complete 80% of the catalog, or it's something that you can get from talking to the Nooklings every day for a month that is filled with question marks that get filled out when you acquire the item, and it can either be added to my tabs, or be a physical book that I can put in my house. This is 100% the least likely thing to ever happen that's on this list. The second least likely thing to ever happen on this list is being able to decide where my villagers move. I don't care about who moves in or when, just that I want to be able to decide where they live so they don't place their goddamn house directly beside mine, or where I want to put a project, or a path, or directly in front of the bridge, or right in front of my house, right on my goddamn blue roses. You can't do this to me! I'm the mayor! Oh right, there should also be a separate inventory for all of your tools. You can buy a shovel, and then put it in your inventory, and then move it to the special tab, and then you can remove it back to your inventory at any time. Also, it'd be nice to have a little shed on the side of your house to store them in, when you get the silver and gold ones. I would really like it if you would keep all the amiibo stuff the exact same from New Leaf. The Sanrio sets are adorable, and I want to keep using them. That's about all I have on my list. So let's talk about some stuff that I disagree with. Don't worry, I'll try to be fast. Animal Crossing is not going to be Breath of the Wild. It will never be Breath of the Wild, and I swear if I hear one more person talk about how an upcoming Switch game should be like Breath of the Wild, I'll lose it. I don't see it looking like the tracks in Mario Kart 8. It will probably just be a more polished version of Amiibo Festival and Pocket Camp. Animal Crossing, while looking nice, has never really pushed the limitations of what the console could do. The NES games aren't going to come back, ever. We're probably going to get the New Leaf mini-games, and maybe some of the Amiibo Festival mini-games. Hopefully the good ones. Having yards makes no sense to me personally, since only the players will have them, and it will throw off the look of the entire town by encasing the area around your house with a giant wall. It doesn't really fit the theme of the mainline game to me. And Animal Crossing isn't really the type of game that needs free-range camera movement. It's always been viewed from the same angle of slightly top-down, where you very rarely need to rotate the camera to look at the sky or behind a tree or house. As sad as it is, you will never be able to freely choose who moves into your town without the use of Amiibo cards, which I'm counting as paid DLC. And just from looking at the world itself, I can tell that real-time weather is a terrible idea. All in all, Animal Crossing is a simple game about living in the country and making friends and going about your daily life. It does not need to be a farming sim. There is no reason to add careers, or cooking, or alchemy, or crafting. There is no reason for you to cook because there are no bars to fill. Food items are furniture for a reason. If they wanted to make a Harvest Moon styled spin-off, that would probably be a huge hit. And I'd play it all the time. But that isn't what Animal Crossing is to most people. Well, that was a list of stuff that I'd like to see in the new Animal Crossing, along with some stuff that I'd rather not see. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, or at least didn't completely hate it. If I missed something that you think would be a good addition to Animal Crossing, then just slap it in the comments down there. If you'd like to tell me how crappy my editing and sound is, I know. Please give some tips. I've never done this before. I don't know what I'm doing. Now I'm really excited for E3. I hope the Nintendo Direct actually talks about Animal Crossing, or else I'm gonna be really sad.